Morning, everybody. My name is Walter Contreras. I run this organization on Long Island called Motiva. We basically specialize in manage IT services, but a lot of my work has always been about productivity. I happen to think that this time that we're going through right now is teaching us, all of us, that we need to think outside the box when we're talking about business and business development. So today we're going to discuss how to get contract sign or any sort of document sign using DocuSign or Adobe Sign for the purposes of not confusing people. We're going to focus on Adobe Sign today. However, both products are very similar. We work with both. So if you need help after this to set it up and work with it, we'll be more than happy to help you with that. So again, one of the things that we'll just switch my screen. So what we're going to cover today is we're going to briefly touch on Zoom setup, which we did a whole webinar deep dive on that. And I think that we all should go back and look at that, and I'll show you a little bit about it. We also touched in the last webinar about Calendly and how to set up automated methods to get your customers to connect with you. And today we'll talk about electronic signature, when to use it, which product to use, and what pricing. That really depends on your needs. We're gonna send some documents. We're gonna hopefully the demo gods today won't curse us, Robert, and we'll do a great demo. I like to do this very interactively. We'll talk about what kind of files we can work with in terms of sending signatures out. We're gonna download and print some of them, and we'll get started, and we'll do a demo at the end. So briefly, I just want to talk a little bit about, we want to show you how much more effective you can be with sending electronic documents to be sent out. A lot of us are home today, and we're not able to go somewhere to get a signature, but we can send these documents electronically and get those signatures in, get those approvals in, get those purchase orders in, get them signed, get them going in an easier way so we can continue to do business. So it's a whole different world. The world just changed on us, and the way we do business may forever be changed. The truth is that these tools that we're going to talk about today, some companies have been using it for a long time. I think that systems like Zoom, Calendly, DocuSign, there's so many systems that can help you be more productive and help your workforce, especially your business development people, stay connected with your prospects and customers, etc. I do think that going forward, having Zoom meetings, having any sort of event online will be more of the norm. People will be more open to that, and for those reasons, I think that as a business model, we all have to start innovating and changing. I subscribe to the idea that if you're not innovating, you are dying as a business. And just make sure that you are speaking to your customers, your prospects these days. It is extremely important that you stay in touch and connected with them, because if you're not doing it, someone else is doing it. And it's important. It's an important time to be present. So we're quickly shifting from a work from home business model, right? And we need to start thinking, okay, so now we're in this situation, right? But as a business owner, I need to switch my mentality to the fact that, hey, I need to be able to continue to do business, and I need to be able to still go after business, create business opportunities, etc. So for those reasons, all of this is going to help you accomplish those goals. When you're not in the office, and you may not be in the office for a while, that's okay. You can still do some of these things that I'm going to teach you today to stay connected, to create that feeling that you're still with your customer. And don't be afraid to talk about getting on a quick Zoom call. It's almost like Zoom is becoming a verb, but it's a great idea to say to somebody, hey, you have time for a quick Zoom call. And today, everybody's going to know what that means, right? Because if they're not doing it, somebody else is doing it. So it's an important time to stay connected. I've been in the business for over 25 years. I specialize in productivity. I do have an expertise in cybersecurity, but the truth is that when it comes to technology, we have been using these tools for a long, long time. So for us, this is something that we know very well. We love to teach it to our community, and it's part of our mission to serve our community and support our customers to the best of our technology knowledge and abilities. So, increase productivity with online meetings. I'm going to talk about a couple of products today. And again, I encourage you, and we have posted this on our website, and I'm going to give you the links at the end. I encourage you to go back and look at the last couple of webinars we've done. We did an extremely deep dive on Zoom where we will show you guys how to, from creating the account all the way to securing it, which is a big thing right now. And so I encourage you to do that. We also did another webinar a couple days ago about Calendly. Calendly is a calendar connection tool that integrates with Zoom. And it's incredible because all you really have to do is send somebody a link of your Calendly, and those people will be able to create a calendar appointment with you. And Calendly sends the information for the Zoom, sends it to you, and it's a beautiful thing. We'll talk about that as well. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Zoom meetings, but I just want to give you an idea. When you go to zoom.us and it's zoom.us, you can create a free account today. They have some system requirements in there, like what you can use in terms of computers, but I can tell you that most modern computers today will work just fine. So if you head on over to zoom.us, you can create your own free account, and you just got to register. When you register, you're going to get an email sign up. And again, just go to zoom.us. It's going to be in your inbox. You click on activate, and off you go. There are many ways to start a meeting on Zoom. You can schedule those meetings. And again, I'll go back to saying, just please watch the video we did a couple of days ago with Zoom. That will be a tremendous tool for you in your tool belt. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, but you can easily invite people in Zoom and just have that one-on-one connection with them when you're talking, and you actually can see them if they have a webcam. Even if they don't have a webcam, I still encourage you to use your webcam, to have your own headset, because it's important that you sound and you look great, even if you are on an online webinar, and at least they can see you, right? Even if they don't have that webcam, at least they can see you. So the next thing I want to talk a little bit about those best practices when you invite somebody. You got to make sure that people on the phone with you, the back and forth, there's a lot of the stuff where a lot of us are trying to connect with people, and we spend a lot of time going back and forth trying to get that date with them. And, I can almost guarantee you, by the way, you guys have a button on the bottom of your Zooms that you can click on to raise your hand. But raise your hand if you had trouble getting people to book appointments with you, and you're making all these phone calls back and forth, and you just can't match the dates with them. And so that's one of the pieces that, you almost become like a pain in the butt, right? Like just calling these people. And so that's one of the pieces that Calendly does really well. Calendly is similar, it's a software as a service like Zoom. And again, we did a whole deep dive on this a few days ago. But Calendly allows you to create your own calendar link. And what that means to you is that you can send those links to people, and they can book at their time. So you don't have to match your calendar with them. They will see your calendar right away, and they can click on your available times. And we can talk about Calendly all day long, but we're going to just keep moving on. And by the way, those links could be put onto your website. And we talked about this during our webinar, so I do encourage you again to look at that. We'll send you the links as well once this is done. This is the page where those links have been put on. If you see down there, you can click on Calendly or Zoom or any of the other ones we've done, and feel free to watch them at your own time. They will help you tremendously to get more productive. So here we are. Let's talk about electronic document signatures. And please feel free to post your questions on the chat. A little bit of housekeeping. There's a button on the bottom where you can put questions. We're gonna have a Q&A. We're gonna have an interactive Q&A. Raise your hand if you have a question. Ask anything you want. We can just go into demo. I want to make this as interactive as possible. I want to observe you as much as I can. I want to help you set up as much as I can any of these systems. So let's talk about electronic signatures. A lot of us, we're still in the paper era, right? We still need an actual paper to be signed. And the reality is that the government passed a law, I think it was sometime in 1990 something or early 2000s, about an electronic signature law, that your electronic signature, as long as it meets certain criteria, could be used in court, and it's a legal binding of your signature. Some of those criteria are, for example, that it's done in a system that is proven to be secure. So something like Adobe Sign or DocuSign, those systems work well. The other thing is that it captures certain information when the actual person is signing, such as their IP address. The IP address is the computer address for the network at that time. So it kind of gives them a location of where they signed it. Without exposing the security of the person. So that's a really good way to think about when you're doing electronic signatures, because it is 100% binding in the court of law. So what is signing and when should I use it? Really, you want to use, there's a couple of products. These are the two competitive products out there, and it really depends on your needs. I'm not a fan of one or the other. I actually think that some of them integrate better. For the purposes of today, I'm going to show you Adobe Sign because that's what I have downloaded for today. But DocuSign works extremely similar to Adobe Sign. It really depends on how much integration. Some of them integrate more with your current CRM, customer relationship management softwares. Some of them integrate better with your maybe you're doing a mortgage system, right? Or some Lead Street or Soho or Autodesk. There's a lot of integrations with these systems where it simplifies the sending document process. So, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So any of these products will be fine. When you send a document for a signature, you can send it to multiple people for signatures. And you could also upload any sort of document to those signatures files to be sent. So, you can sign one yourself, by the way, if you download one of those forms that you need to sign and you're doing it electronically, you don't have anywhere to print it, or maybe it was a scanned document, you could actually do that for yourself as well. And you can send that signature document directly to the person who sent it to you. So, I think the kind of files that we could upload onto these systems, and again, I'm using DocuSign, but it's similar to others, is pretty much any document, right? If it's a Word document, it'll take it, it will convert it into a PDF file, and then you can work on it. And I'll show you that on a demo in a few minutes. But you can pretty much use any sort of file to come up. Robert, any questions have come up while I've been talking a lot here?
So just looking here, no question that everything's going pretty smoothly.
Okay. So feel free to ask any questions, guys. If you, while I'm doing this demo, if you have any questions, please post them. We'll be happy to answer them, okay? So we're gonna do a demo with Robert right now about some of these files, and we'll import one. We'll take you step by step on how to get a signature on some of these documents, and we'll show you exactly how this is done. So let's switch to a demo real quick. All right, great. So all of you guys will be able to see my Adobe Acrobat, my Acrobat Pro. Robert, can you confirm?
Yep, I see the page for you.
All right, great. So this is the Adobe Acrobat download. I am using a Mac, but it's similar on Windows. What you see here is files that I recently worked with. That's the default, but you could actually import any kind of file that you have downloaded. So for example, let me switch over to show you the power of this thing. Let me just show you one more thing. So I have a file here that's from a website. Let me see if I have it. So I have a form here that is, let me know if you see it, Robert.
Yeah, I see the title page with all of your.
Yeah, so this is the New York State. This is any form, right? This is a PDF form I found online. You could do this, again, you could do this with any kind of file. You could do this with, um, you know, just a Word document. It doesn't matter. So what you see here on my computer now, I'm going to browse to where I downloaded that file, and I'm going to bring it into my Adobe. So this is what it looks in my Adobe. So let's just say I wanted to get a signature piece on this document. Okay, I wanted to send this out to get a signature. So I'm going to click on the signature now, and let me just go back. So for those of you that didn't see that, so I'm going to click on filling and sign, right? And I had two choices here. So I can fill it in myself, sign it, and send it as a PDF, which I was showing you before, or I can have somebody else sign this. So I'm going to pretend that Robert has to sign this document for me. So I'm going to request a signature. I'm going to put Robert's email address. And this is going to allow me to send Robert this email. And I'm going to put form to be signed. And you can put some sort of a comment here if you have, maybe please sign red areas, whatever you want to say on that comment so that people know what they're looking at, what they're signing. Okay, so I'm just gonna specify, I want to tell Robert where he has to place that signature. So I'm gonna click on specify where to sign. So Adobe is gonna take that form, is gonna convert it for me, and now it's gonna give me these options, right, to be able to add those actions to the form. So a signature block, just so we all know, includes the date, time, email, and all of that in the signature block. For this demo, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, and by the way, you can pick any of these fields. So I'm gonna take this signature block. I'm gonna want him to also put his name. And I also want the date stamp. So let's just, by the way, this could be a multiple field uh, page. You can have 20 pages. Maybe you just needed an initial on each page, right? You can take these initials and just put it on each page, right? So, but for this purpose of this demo, I'm just gonna have him sign, put his name and the date, okay? So I'm gonna hit send down here. That's all I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna share the screen so Robert can show you. So this is telling me that the form sign went out for signature. Okay, so I'm gonna stop this share. Robert, if you don't mind, can you show us what you get on your end, please?
Absolutely.
Michelle, I'm gonna answer your question in a little bit. I am almost certain, Michelle, that the version of Adobe Pro has the signature piece on it. If you have questions about that, I can totally help you after this call. Okay, so give me 1 second, Rob. Let me just make sure I can see that. Cool. So this is what Robert gets on this end, right? And what he's seeing right now is his email coming from DocuSign. and it's telling it that I sent him a form to be signed. So click on review and sign, Robert, please. So now it's taking you to a secure location. By the way, this is the message that we wrote, and I want to make sure you point that out, Robert, because that message it's very important. If you got to tell people, hey, don't forget to sign all 10 pages, or hey, make sure you click on the red areas, whatever. That's what you want. That's why you want to put that message on there. Okay. So it's taking you to a secure location, and just like any other paper document, it has that little thing on there that says start, the yellow tab. So click on start, and now you're prompted to put in your signature. Now, if you click on the signature to sign, there's a couple of ways to do this, by the way. The easiest way is just to start typing. So Robert, you can start typing your name, and this is the simplest, the easiest way to do it. So for your customers, if they do this, this is enough to satisfy the Electronic Signature Act. So you don't have to have them have made their exact signature. This is enough for that, okay? But there are some people that want the actual signature so they can draw it. If they have a pen, maybe they have a touch device like an iPad or something, they can draw it with their finger. If you have a mobile device, you can send this to a mobile device and actually sign it on your iPhone or Android device. So there's many ways they can do that, but the easiest way to do it is just type it and hit apply, okay? That's just giving you options. Now, the last option, if you see on the bottom, it says click to sign. And, people can read the terms of agreement and stuff on there, but it's basically sign. So, and here it is. Robert now gets a notification that it went out for signature. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take over my side, and let me just show you what I see. So this is what I see. Let me just open this a little bit better. And what I see, hold on, sorry about that. Let me just share the proper screen. Okay, and what I see on my end is basically the email that says that Robert signed it in his file, and I can open a PDF file that actually shows me that Robert signed it. You noticed a couple of things there, though. There was a couple of things I want to point out here. One, you notice that Robert just put his signature. He wasn't prompted to put his name, because as he typed his signature, it types his name. So that was by default. The second thing that it did is it applied the date by default without Robert having to type it, because it knows it's today's date. When this document is completed, this is what is called the audit trail. At the end of any of these electronic signature documents, this is a page. Whenever you print this or save it onto your documents, make sure that you save this page also, because what this page, this is what makes it a legal document. And what makes it a legal document is the fact that it's date stamped, signed by somebody. There's a certain transaction ID. But what truly makes it a legal document is the IP address. And there's an audit trail, where it came from, where it was signed, by who it was signed, and this piece right here is what makes it a legal document. Okay? So any questions from anybody, Robert? Is there any other stuff popping up?
So yeah, I do have that first question from Michelle Gonzalez. Michelle, good morning. Thank you for being with us. She did ask, does the Adobe Sign come with Adobe Pro, or is it a separate application?
Adobe Pro has Adobe Sign, so it's kind of like the other way around. When you pay for the Pro version of Adobe, you get Adobe Sign. Any other questions, Rob?
Just looking here, it looks like you did a pretty good job explaining it and making it
Cool.
very easy.
Awesome. Yeah, no, and again, you know, I encourage everybody to go to our website, motiva.net/productivity, to look at the other webinars we've done, and hopefully that will be part of your tool belt for going forward, doing business on this new era. I want to thank everybody for being here. It's my pleasure to serve you, and hope to see you on the next one. We're going to be showing you how to create a website in 5 minutes. And thank you, everybody, for coming in. If you have any questions, you know how to reach us. My email's right here. We're happy to help you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.